List.io.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sport Talk Thursdays with Cecilia. I'm Cecilia. Um, Today we're going to discuss anxiety. I'm trying it a little different this time. Last time I didn't have information up on my screen about it. I do this time just in case I skim over some parts or whatever, and you want to go back and read them for yourself, or you want to just go back and look at it or know where I got it from, the email or the web address and everything else. If you want to look it up yourself, um, that's why I did it this way. Let me know in the comments if you like it better this way or the way I did it last week. So yeah, let's jump right on in here. Um, let's go to the overview. Anxiety is your body's natural response to stress. It's a feeling of fear or apprehension about what's to come. The first day of school, going to a job interview, or giving a speech may cause most people to feel fearful or nervous. But if you feel feelings of anxiety are extreme, last for longer than 6 months, and are interfering with your life, you may have an anxiety disorder. There's a reason I did anxiety disorder after depression. 9 times out of 10, if you have depression, more than likely you're gonna have anxiety as well. So that's why I chose to do anxiety after doing depression. I have anxiety myself. I also have depression. My anxiety is so bad that it's hard for me to leave the house. I can't be in big crowds. It's hard for me to go to Walmart. It's hard for me to whatever because I fear for my safety. I fear for my kids' safety. My anxiety got really bad here lately, but um, I was also diagnosed with PTSD, which I will talk about in another week or so. But when my daughter was like 1.5, 2, somewhere in there, I had to take my son to the doctor, and my wife hurt her. I think it was her knee or hip, and it was hard for her to walk. So when I knew that we were almost done, um, I had her go ahead and take our daughter and walk to the car. Because it was a long walk, you had to go to a parking garage or whatever. So, at the hospital we were at, it has a bridge that goes over the road, so you don't have to like cross the road to go to the parking garage. It has a bridge over the road where you walk. Anyway, she was standing there waiting for us, and my daughter was playing on the bridge and everything. And this guy decides to try to snatch her, and thank God my daughter, she goes dead weight on him. He can't pick her up. She starts screaming for mama and everything else. So luckily, my wife was there and got her and everything. She's safe. But I think it takes me back there, and that's why my anxiety is so bad, especially when I'm by myself with both kids, or even when I have all four of my kids. Even though my two older ones are older, but I just fear for my safety. I fear for my kids' safety. I fear for my wife's safety. So that's I think that's how my anxiety has gotten so bad. Um so yeah. Um what are anxiety disorders? It's normal to feel anxious about moving to a new place, starting a new job, or taking a test. This type of anxiety is unpleasant, but it may motivate you to work harder and to do a better job. Ordinarily, ordinary anxiety is a feeling that comes and goes, but does not interfere with your everyday life. In the case of an anxiety disorder, the feeling of fear may be with you all the time. It is intense and sometimes debilitating. Yes, it is. Um, there's days that even going outside smoking is hard for me. I don't even want to go outside. Period. Um, I fear everything outside. So, yeah, it for me, my anxiety is debilitating. So, it's intense. There's times that I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like somebody's like squeezing my insides, like in my chest. My chest starts pounding. So, um, This type of anxiety may cause you to stop doing things you enjoy. In extreme cases, it may prevent you from entering an elevator, crossing the street, or even leaving your home. If left untreated, the anxiety will keep getting worse. Anxiety disorders are a most common form of emotional disorder and can affect anyone at any age. According to the American Psychiatric Association, women are more likely than men to be diagnosed with anxiety disorder. Um so yeah, it's really bad when and it talks about it taking away stuff you enjoy. Like I used to go to the park with my kids all the time, and everything else, and used to go outside with them all the time. And I don't even do that anymore. I, I just don't even want to go outside half the time. So it really sucks. I mean, there's no other word to say, but it sucks. And there's days that I feel like I'm a bad mother because of it. I feel like I'm letting my kids down because of something I can't help, and it really hurts. So anybody going through that, I understand completely, 100%. Um, what are the types of anxiety disorders? Anxiety is a key part of several different disorders. This includes panic disorder, experiencing recurring panic attacks at unexpected times. A person with panic disorders may live in fear of the next panic attack. Phobia, excessive fear of a specific object, situation, or activity. Social anxiety disorder, extreme fear of being judged by others in social situations. That's a big one for me. Um, I'm used to being judged, but I still have fear of it. I don't like being judged, so that's a big one for me. Um, obsessive compulsive disorder, which is also known as OCD, recurring irrational thoughts that lead you to perform specific repeated behavior. Um, separation anxiety disorder, fear of being away from home or loved ones. Illness anxiety disorder, anxiety about your health, formerly called hy- hypho. I can't pronounce that. If y'all know what it says, good, because I don't. Post traumatic stress disorder, known as PTSD, anxiety following a traumatic event, as I had just mentioned earlier in the video of my traumatic event with my daughter. Um, I have a bunch of traumatic events, but that's the only one I will share at the moment. Um, what are the symptoms of anxiety? Well, anxiety feels different depending on a person experiencing it. Every person's different, and what I feel and what anxiety does to me is not necessarily what anxiety is going to do to you. Everybody's different, just like somebody who goes through uh chemo or radiation or some other kind of medicine. Everybody's going to react to it differently. Nobody's going to react to it the same. One medicine might help somebody else. The same medicine might not help somebody else. It all depends. Feelings can range from butterflies in your stomach to a racing heart. You might feel out of control, like there's a disconnect between your mind and body. Other ways people experience anxiety include nightmares, panic attacks, and painful thoughts of or memories that you can't control. You may have a general feeling of fear and worry, or you may fear a specific place or event. Um, Symptoms of general anxiety include increased heart rate, rapid breathing, restlessness, trouble concentrating, difficulty falling asleep. Um, I have experienced all of those, and let me tell you, they are not pleasant. I hate feeling them. Like I mentioned before, when my anxiety hits, I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like somebody's sitting on my chest. I feel like somebody's squeezing me from the inside. My chest just hurts so bad. So yeah, your anxiety symptoms might be totally different from someone else's. That's why it's important to know all the ways anxiety can present itself. Um, and if you look up on this, you can also, if you go to this website that I'm on and look it up, you can also click on the read about the many types of anxiety symptoms you might experience. There is also, if you go to Google, there is also a just like depression, there is also an anxiety test. There's a depression test also. And it'll ask you questions about what you feel and everything, and it will tell you if you answer so many yeses or so many nos if you have anxiety. So if you're not sure, go take that test and it will probably tell you. Um, what is an anxiety attack? An anxiety attack is a feeling of overwhelming apprehension, worry, distress, or fear. For many people, an anxiety attack builds slowly. It may worsen as a stressful event approaches. Um, I've never had an anxiety attack. So um, but I have heard about them. I think that you can feel them coming on, and if you remove yourself from that stressful situation, it will calm it down. But if you stay there, it keeps on. So and it gets worse. So yeah, anxiety attacks can vary greatly, and symptoms may differ among individuals. That's because the many symptoms of anxiety don't happen to everyone and they can change over time. Common symptoms of an anxiety attack include feeling faint or dizzy, shortness of breath, dry mouth, sweating, chills or hot flashes, apprehension and worry, restlessness, distress, fear, numbing or tingling. Um, a panic attack and an anxiety attack share some common symptoms, but they're not the same. And also, if you go on here, you can click that and learn more about each so you can decide if your symptoms are the result of either. Um, what causes anxiety? Researchers are not sure of the exact cause of anxiety, but it's likely a combination of factors play a role. These include genetic, environmental factors, as well as brain chemistry. In addition, researchers believe that the areas of the brain responsible for controlling fear may be impacted. Current researchers of anxiety is taking a deeper look at the parts of the brain that are involved with anxiety. And also, you can click on that, learn more about what researchers are finding. Um, Also, are there tests that diagnose anxiety? A single test can't diagnose anxiety. Instead, an anxiety diagnosis requires a lengthy process of physical examinations, mental health evaluations, and psychologist questionnaires. Sorry. Some doctors may conduct sorry about that. Some doctors may conduct a physical exam, including blood or urine tests, to rule out underlying medical conditions that could contribute to symptoms you're experiencing. Several anxiety tests and scales are also used to help your doctor assess the level of anxiety you're experiencing. You can reach about each of these tests. Um, but there is not a single test for anxiety, but if you go online and take that test, you will see what ballpark you are in. If there's a possibility you need to go see a mental health person because you have anxiety and everything else, it will help you determine that. Um, what are treatments for anxiety? Once you've been diagnosed with anxiety, you can explore treatment options with your doctor. For some people, medical treatment isn't necessary. Lifestyle changes may be enough to cope with with the symptoms. If you think you have anxiety and you don't want to go to a mental health person right away, you can try lifestyle changes that may help you cope with the symptoms. If your lifestyle changes do not help you cope with them and they keep getting worse, then you need to go seek medical treatment. because the lifestyle changes is not working for you. In moderate or severe cases, however, treatment can help you overcome these symptoms and lead to a more manageable day-to-day life. Treatment for anxiety falls into two categories: psychotherapy and medication. Meeting with a therapist or psychologist can help you learn tools to use and strategies to cope with anxiety when it occurs. Medications typically used to treat anxiety include antidepressants and sedatives. They work to balance brain chemistry, prevent episodes of anxiety, and ward off the most severe symptoms of the disorder. Um, I see a therapist every other week, and then next month I'll see my psychologist. So, or psychiatrist, my bad. Um, and so yeah, I am in therapy, so there is no shame in getting help if you need it. Um, I know how you feel. I used to be in the same boat. I used to not want to get help. I used to think it was a sign of weakness. I used to think it meant I was crazy, and that's not it. You you need to do what you need to do for your family and to get better. These are natural remedies that are used for anxiety. Lifestyle changes can be an effective way to relieve some of the stress and anxiety you may cope with every day. Most of the natural remedies consist of caring for your body, participating in healthy activities, and eliminating unhealthy ones. These include getting enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you get irritable, which makes your anxiety worse, which makes depression worse also. So, get enough sleep, meditation, staying active and exercising, eating a healthy diet, staying active and working out, avoid alcohol, avoiding caffeine, quitting smoking cigarettes. I smoke. Um, I've tried to quit and it's hard. I also do caffeine. Caffeine's my alcohol. I don't do alcohol. I only drink very rarely. But caffeine's my alcohol. I've tried to give up caffeine and I've been unsuccessful. So but if you do give up caffeine, do it a little at a time, because if you give it up all at once, you're going to get a headache that is known as a caffeine headache, and it can be worse than a migraine. So be careful when you do that. If these lifestyle changes seem like a positive way to help you eliminate some anxiety, read about how each one works. You can click on that if you look this up. Anxiety and depression. If you have an anxiety disorder, you may also be depressed. While anxiety and depression can occur separately, it's not unusual for these two mental health disorders to happen together, as I said in the beginning, which is why I chose to do anxiety this week. Anxiety can be a symptom of clinical or major depression. Likewise, worsening symptoms of depression can be triggered by an anxiety disorder. Symptoms of both conditions can be managed with many of the same treatments: psychotherapy, counseling, medication, and lifestyle changes. Um, Children can also have anxiety. My my sister is 18. I mean, she's not a child, but she has really bad. I think she's always had anxiety issues. She's always really like staying in her room, staying away from other people, but it's gotten a lot worse. I think it was a year and a half ago. Her and my other sister. I'm the oldest, but my older sister than her, she's in college, but they were going somewhere and they ended up rolling the car 5 times. So ever since that, she's got really bad anxiety. So, but anxiety in children is natural and common. In fact, 1 in 8 children will experience anxiety as the children grow up and learn from their parents, friends, and caretakers. They typically develop these skills to calm themselves and cope with feelings of anxiety. But anxiety in children can also become chronic and persistent, developing into an anxiety disorder. Uncontrolled anxiety may begin to interfere with daily activities, and children may avoid interacting with their peers or family members. Symptoms of anxiety might include jitteriness, irritability, sleeplessness, feeling of fear, shame, feelings of isolation. Anxiety treatment for children include cognitive behavioral therapy, talk therapy, and medications. If you need to know any more, you can click that link if you look it up yourself. Um, how to help teens with anxiety. Teenagers may have many reasons to be anxious. Tests, college visits, and first dates all pop up in these important years. But teenagers who feel anxious or experience symptoms of anxiety frequently may have an anxiety disorder. Symptoms of anxiety in teenagers may include nervousness, shyness, isolationist behavior, and avoidance. Likewise, anxiety in teens may lead to unusual behaviors. They may act out, perform poorly in school, skip social events, and even engage in substance or alcohol use. For some teens, depression may accompany anxiety. Diagnosing both conditions is important so that treatment can address the underlying issues and help relieve symptoms. The most common treatments for anxiety in teenagers are talk therapy and medication. These treatments also help address depression symptoms. If you have a teenager that you think has an anxiety disorder or depression disorder, please get them help as soon, because there is a lot of teenagers that have actually committed suicide because they didn't get the right help they needed. So please, need um, if you notice your teen is acting strangely, please take them and get them help. Um, Anxiety and stress. Stress and anxiety are two sides of the same coin. Stress is the result of demands on your brain and body. It can be the cause by an event or activity that makes you nervous or worrisome. Anxiety is that same worry, fear, or uneasy. Anxiety can be a reaction to your stress, but it can also occur in people who have no obvious stressors. Both anxiety and stress cause physical and mental symptoms that this includes headaches, stomach ache, fast heart rate, sweating, dizziness, jitteriness, muscle tension, rapid breathing, panic, nervousness, difficulty concentrating, irritational anger or irritability, restlessness, and sleeplessness. Neither stress nor anxiety is always bad. Both can actually provide you with a bit of a boost or intense incentive to accomplish the task or challenge before you. However, if they become persistent, they can begin to interfere with your daily life. In that case, it's important to seek treatment. The long term outlook for untreated depression and anxiety includes chronic health issues such as heart disease. Um, I'm not going to read the anxiety and alcohol. All I'm going to tell you is alcohol will make the anxiety intensify, will make it worse. It will not help it. You might think it helped it for a little bit, but once the alcohol comes off, or once you um come down off your buzz or you're drunk or whatever, it will make it worse. So, you can read that if you want to. Um, foods, uh, it's can foods treat anxiety? Medication and talk therapy are commonly used to treat anxiety. Lifestyle changes like getting enough sleep and regular exercise can also help. In addition, some research suggests that foods you eat may have a beneficial impact on your brain. If you frequently experience anxiety, these foods include salmon, co- chamomile, turmeric, dark chocolate, yogurt, and green tea. And if you want to read more, you can go to that and click on that. The outlook. Anxiety disorders can be treated with medication, physical psychotherapy, or a combination of the two. Some people who have a mild anxiety disorder or a fear or of something they can easily avoid decide to live with the condition and to not seek treatment. It's important to understand that anxiety disorders can be treated even in severe cases. Although anxiety usually doesn't go away, you can learn to manage it and live a happy, healthy life. Um so yeah, that's anxiety. Like I said in the beginning, if you like the way I did this time, let me know in the comments. And if you like it this way, I will continue to do it this way. If you like it the other way, I will do it the other way, whichever one you like best. Um, so if you have any questions, any comments, on anxiety, um, please leave them in the comments below. Um, or you can, email me. I will leave my email in the description. Um, I'm sorry about that. My son had to play Baby Shark. Sorry. But uh but yeah, if you want to, you can email me. If you don't want to talk about your situation, or if you have a question and you don't want to put it in the comments, I will leave my email below. I will leave my Facebook to my group for my YouTube channel down there too. I will also leave my Patreon link at the bottom as well. Um so but yeah, that's anxiety, and I hope it helped you. I hope it enlightened you. I'm hoping that my mental health awareness Thursdays are helping somebody, because that's my goal. If I can help one person, then I've done what I set out to do. Um but yeah, so thank you for joining me for Support Talk Thursdays with Cecilia. Until next Thursday.